I'm not going stealth camping, because that would be illegal. But if I were, this would be a bag that I would take, as it's very inconspicuous. It's just a backpack. I actually borrowed it from my wife. So what do I have in here? I have on me, I've got my knife, a little bit of paracord, which I wouldn't need on just an overnight. I don't have the fire steel or bellow or anything like that. So outside, I have my poncho over here, and then my Nalgene. Up here is some contacts, a little bit of congestion medicine, and the burner for my cooker. Not taking any extra contacts this time, just what I need if I were going. And then in this pouch, I have, this is my breakfast, biscuits and gravy, and then in the front, I also in my pocket have coffee, or I would carry a coffee where I go. In this pocket, I have a pillow, my folding saw, allergy medicine, bug spray, more stuff for my allergies. I've got a battery bank for my phone, and then some on-the-go tissues. This is funny, this just slides down in the side and kind of guides the zipper. This goes in here. It seems kind of stretched out. I mean, it's packed, I guess it's packed pretty good. In here, I'm not going to pull all this out because it's hard to get back in, but I have the Pro Pack because they're a lot smaller, vacuum sealed, makes them smaller. So this is beef stroganoff. I got an extra paracord in my headlamp, and I've done this in other videos, but if I wanted to be stealthy while I'm out, this is my sniper bag. It's got my other Nalgene nesting cup, a spork, and my water stuff, and a lighter. So once I got out away from town, I could pull this out and just carry it outside the bag if I wanted to. I'll leave that out for now. In the main pack, I have my bug net, which I probably should have put that in the stuff sack. It's a pyramid, just like it shows. You put the top up on your ridge line and then stake the corners out around where you're sleeping. I've got wool socks, and in case it gets cold, this is a change of socks. I got a pair on. In case it gets cold, I got thermals. And then also in case it gets cold, I've got wool socks. But it's only going to get in the 60s, so I'm not worried. I almost didn't take anything, but I went ahead and grabbed the quilt too. Got the burner to my stove. Of course, even in a small backpack, I still bring my sleeping pad. I almost left it and just like, I'll sleep on the ground, but I really don't want to. Got the Mel's hammock tarp. It's got the quick deploy ridgeline in the top of it. And then in here I've got the quilt that's stuffed down into the bottom. And then I got the emergency tarp that I'm going to use for a ground sheet. And what I figured out about these is they're very thin. This has holes in it from rocks at the last place. But it'll still work because we're not expecting rain. I actually don't need both. I just pack both because, you know, whatever. And in the very back, kind of for support against my back, but also because it helps keep stuff rigid, but it helps putting this on the ground. So I just fold this up and put it in there. It's just a little diamond-shaped puzzle map from the floor Cody gave me for the Illinois trip. And inside in there, I have my folding stove, which I won't need, but just in case. And then the Bushcraft grill. And the reason I took the grill now is because, well, it's flat and it's nothing, but I can also, if I have a container that doesn't fit across the top of my burner, just put the grill on it and then put it on the grill. That seems to work very well. It's not something I made up, it's something I learned from watching other people. So there we go. That's what I would take were I to go stealth camping. So this roads in this housing place are started, but it's nowhere near developing out here. However, they do have woods. If somebody were to maybe want to go camping,
there's nobody around. It wouldn't hurt nothing. I didn't bring my tripod, so I didn't get the setup going, but we don't have to worry really about being seen. But these green will give us camo on the edges. So I went ahead and did a full lean-to and tied that center out. But part of the reason is there's these rows, because these trees are planted in rows, so the in-betweens, valleys. So to be comfortable, I want to lay in that so I'm not rolling. So that just made sense for the lean-to, because the ridgeline options with the trees being, you know, one row over here and one row all the way back here are limited. So this is the best idea we could come up with. And we got Joe setting up camo the other way. I may put my poncho up between these two just to make sure we're good and enshrouded, but yeah. And then this, I know you should put the reflective down if it's warm like it is now, but later it'll be cooling off, and that thing doesn't really do that much anyway without a fire, as far as I've noticed. And it's on its last legs. Like, I already put holes in it. I really just brought it so I didn't have to lay flat on the ground. And then we saw this pines are pretty thick, so I'm gonna be sleeping comfortable.
Well insulated.
Well insulated, yeah, comfy. Joe's gonna be hammocking it up. I don't know what happened here. That makes two of us. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how. Joe wanted to do a different pitch here, so he's figuring something out.
Right there was in my way.
Yeah, little trees messing it up.
Do like a diagonal lean-to.
So we're gonna figure out where to tie these things up. Like we said, it's not gonna rain or anything. This is more just for, like, to build us a little area and to help keep us from being seen and give us shade. So we're plenty shaded in here. We got soft stuff. So it's good. But it was funny to see that strap tied around there like that.
6 feet apart.
6 feet apart.
So we're going to sharpen the Scandi grind on the ceramic stone. Notice I got all my fingertips down so it won't touch the blade. Okay? I'm actually going to cut toward myself, which is against the rules. But with the Scandi grind knife, you just take it and you pick it up and you lean it until the tip touches the ceramic. And now all I'm going to do is just slide it back like I'm trying to peel a layer off. Really lightly. Do the same thing going this way, just lean it up.
See, what happened was I beat up my Mora knife so far, and I'm not very good at caring for it. And I tried to sharpen it at the school and missed the part that I carved with. So Joe said he would show me how to get my knife sharp again. This is my first knife sharpening lesson since my dad's pocket knife. You know, when I was young.
Yeah, you just want to hold the angle the whole way, and it's easier with these Scandi grinds because you're basically laying it flat.
So you just use the natural bevel to lay it down.
Yeah, this little wrist twist.
Do you push like that angle at all, or you just let it sit?
No, I just want the slightest bit of pressure. I'm acting like I'm peeling a layer off of an onion or something. I'm just scraping the peel off a tomato. I mean, that kind of light touch.
Yeah.
So this is the raw end of the grain of the leather here. You can see how it's not finished, and it's 3 welts sewn together. So now I'm just going to take this here, and I'm going to run it across like that.
Are you still using the bevel at all, or are you just pulling it across?
I'm just pulling it because the leather will move a little bit, but I'm just kind of doing the same thing. I have it twisted. I'm not trying to push down on it like this.
But you do the twist with your wrist.
I'm just keeping that angle of the bevel.
So it's the reverse of the way you were sharpening it too. You're going backwards instead of forwards.
Yep, and you're really just cleaning all the broken little particles of metal off the end with the leather.
Oh, I never knew really what stropping was. I think I was doing it wrong.
See how you like the feel of it. Just with that little bit.
Oh, I can feel where I was doing the carving at. Yeah. That's better than I had it for sure.
I really like this little guy. I mean, like, you don't even need the diamond unless you really beat it up, right? You use this thing for what, a week at a challenge course?
Yeah.
And you sharpened it there, but it didn't even need to be recut. It just needed to be smoothed out where you kind of used it the most, right?
Yeah, awesome. Well, now I got a knife good as new. That Mora I'm very, very impressed with. It's the Mora Bushcraft Black. And like we were saying, I beat it up. I bet I batoned with it. I batoned with only the very edge of it sticking out. And I pried with it. Carved a lot. No issues at all. Everything's still good, except for I needed to sharpen it. Yeah, Mora Bushcraft Black. Definitely worth it. You can't really tell the dip in here, but it's really cool. So I went to lay down. I don't know if you can see how it comes uphill.
Aim through the trees like the tunnel.
Yeah, I try to get it.
It don't show.
Well, it doesn't show as good. Right where I'm at's deeper than this too. So when I first laid down, it just kind of cocooned me in, and I thought it was awesome. But then I kind of went down like this, and that is just enough of a ditch to be just like a couch. So not only is it like keeping me from rolling around and it's very comfortable, especially with the layer of pine needles on there, but it's a dual purpose because I sit on my sleeping pad and lean back across this, and it's very comfy. So yeah, I picked a great spot. I think I'm gonna sleep real good tonight. I think we're done now. Finally, Joe fixed this tarp. We got it tied up here, and then I tied a Prusix from my ridge line over to his, so we pinned it up there. So now he's covered, and we got more camo coverage from the back. And then we kind of got this little common area in between us. It's in another one of them ditches. And this just for some extra, I don't know, make it seem a little more like our space, and to keep camouflage from the outside. Plus sunblock for certain times of the day. You can see now how deep that divot goes. This is, and then I've got I just tied up an A-frame. So I got the Flectix here, and got a little shelf space up there. I was just thinking, laying here, it's very, very comfortable. Very comfy. I'm just thinking, like, it's nice to be out. Out in the outdoors. Out in the woods. You know, we're not in the middle of the woods, but we can pretend. I mean, it's just nice to get back in the outdoors and do the camp, thinking about stuff, you know, like what would you do in this, or if we were staying here, we'd want to change that. Just therapeutic. It's good. Just popped out to see what we look like from outside here. Looks nice and homey. Looks like base camp material to me. Looks nice, homie. Yeah, we're built in, sheltered in there. That looks really cool. We made our little space. Here, yep, we're socially distancing in a responsible manner. It's got a flame on it.
Yeah, it's kind of clear, but yeah, it's hard. There it goes. Kind of builds up, and then it'll start coming out of those holes.
Did you find the pin? How'd you keep it shut?
I just shoved some pine needles right through here, man. Look.
The pin's gone. just totally hacked this thing together. It's funny because I've got my stove right here. He's like, no, we're going to use the alcohol burner. So we found some stuff out here, pine needles. We're going to make pine needle tea. Joe said he's never had it. I've had it once. Cody made it at Panther's Den in Illinois, but I've read about it. And it's supposed to be rich in vitamin C and vitamin A, and very good for you and your immune system. Joe, what is that? Platypus?
Yeah.
2 liter?
2 liter.
Yeah, I felt it earlier. It's nice and thick.
Just set it right in the top of your pack.
Yeah. But that's the one you said that the filter doesn't screw onto. It doesn't have the uniform thread pattern.
Yeah, it's like a proprietary thread that they have.
Yeah.
So you have to buy their kit to adapt
Thanks
it to a
a lot,
Sawyer, and then
guys.
it's this and that and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we're going to take this and stick it on the alcohol and boil it up. Then we're going to crack up some of these pine needles and stick it there. Oh yeah, you can see the flame coming out of it now.
Yep.
So I still don't know pine needle to tea what we should do, but we're going to crack these dudes in half.
Well,
And
we gotta
probably
put the
drop
needles
them.
in, right?
Yeah, we can put it in now for sure. I was going to wait till it got hot.
You want me to do it? You want me to break them? Or?
Yeah, there's a couple of pieces of debris in there. We just want the green leaves. Yeah, I just do whatever break or whatever we got to get them fit in the cup.
Crack them like spaghetti?
Yeah, just so they'll fit. I mean, you could just stuff them in there anyway. We had a kettle. I didn't bring my cook set, so I don't have a kettle. But yeah, we'll boil this up and then we'll taste it. See how we did. I think it's going to be very piney with all of our needles, but that's better than having it more like hot water. So. Now it's a race against time because the pine needle, I can't get it to focus. It's holding this on. The top of it has caught fire once. All we have is a pine needle holding this shut to boil this water. So we're gonna see if it boils and we get pine needle tea or the thing comes apart. Bubbling. We'll just let that sit for a couple minutes. Got it boiling.
It's very citrusy.
Well, I thought you were going for the taste.
No, it's not too hot.
Yeah. Smells citrusy, you say?
Yeah.
That's a good explanation, yeah.
Strain it, yeah?
I don't know. They're not going to come out like grounds.
Pretty watery. Hot. Pretty fucking hot, too. Cool down some more.
Had to give it another minute. Well, got up. It was sprinkling a little through the night. It's pretty cloudy up there. It sprinkled a little bit. I ended up after it got dark. Had to set up that bug net. Just you tie it up to some kind of ridge line and then it stakes out in the corners. It's supposed to hold up underneath of your stuff like I did here on the front. But since I'm in that dip, it's not wanting to work real well, so it still worked fine. I mean, it just doesn't tuck under them. The bugs weren't bad enough. If it were summertime, that wouldn't be good enough. And I had to chuck my bag up under there because of the rain. Yeah, I'm about to make some coffee. Yeah, see, this is what happens. This is why I had to bring my bag in. There was like a 10% chance. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Beating down off of the tarps. It always rains on me. Morning, Joe. I like that. It got super close to the ground. Yeah. And it's actually raining now. It's not just sprinkling. Of course. I brought the rain. I have to drink that coffee. It's probably seeped in.
It's a unique talent.
Yeah. We were doing good there.
For you to visit farm towns in the summer. Got some espresso if you want.
No, I'm a regular coffee.
Okay.
Just stand here under my poncho. Like watching the rain drop on the water. Yep, nice morning. Well, nothing like tearing down camp in the rain. I'm glad I wasn't going to bring a tarp, and I'm very glad I did. So I got everything else rolled up. I'm going to pack it all up in the bag, and then the ridgeline already goes in the same sack as the tarp. So I'll just stuff it in the sack, put the ridgeline in the bag, and then the tent stakes don't go in the bag either when I just stuff it in. So that'll be my last thing. Everything else I'll get packed in the bag, and then I'll roll the tarp up at the end.